In the beginning, the legendary hero defeats the Demon King and enters the Hero Academy as an ordinary student. With Knife in the hospital, where the doctor informs him that he is making good progress and is 30% recovered, Knife expresses his desire to use his full powers again. But the doctor warns him that this is not possible for now and that he can do it. His life is in mortal danger. He later sees a Knife and his friend calls him and introduces him to a girl named Maria, who says that Maria knows him well because he was part of the magical battalion they fought. The dragon girl then Maria stumbles and accidentally shoots a fireball in the wrong direction, hurting her emotions and feelings. Blade calls her the Torn Girl, not knowing the significance of the term. Maria is shocked by Blade's words, feeling as if they were a heavy stone falling upon her. However, Blade apologizes, explaining that he didn't mean to offend her. She then asks Blade to kill her if she ever loses control of herself. The scene shifts to Blade and his friends sitting at a table talking to Maria, the mysterious girl who wants Blade to kill her. When asked about her strange actions, Maria reveals that she is not a human girl, she is a nocturnal demonic boy. Blade is surprised that he knew this, and explains that he has a strong sixth sense, a rare ability not possessed by others, but Maria corrects him, stating that it's not just that there's a powerful magical beast within her. Maria recounts a time when she was extremely agitated, and her immense power caused her to shatter a teacup she was holding. She apologizes, and explains that this happens when she can't control her physical strength. Her friend advises her to calm down completely to regain control. The next time, Blade reveals that he had been watching and observing Maria during their battle with Ku the Dragon Girl, and other students. Her uncontrollable powers were triggered by the powerful presence of Ku and some other students, leading to her losing control of her abilities. So Maria told them that indeed, if this issue is not resolved soon, a great monster will emerge from within her, causing havoc and destruction in the academy. She explains that there is no other place for her to go if she gets expelled from the academy, as she had been struggling financially, and her parents had passed away, leaving her an orphan. Even their rented house was no longer available, leaving her with no place to stay. Blade empathizes with her situation, understanding how her parents were the source of her happiness in life, and now she feels alone and unable to do anything on her own. However, he reassures her that they will all stand by her side and help her in every way possible. The next day, during the buffet, Blade creates a powerful, magical barrier in the training area. Everything is set for Maria to unleash her true strength and release the massive monster within her, but Maria expresses her inability to do so. Blade tells her that Ernest Barhan is living proof that it is possible, as he went through a similar experience a few weeks ago and completely freed himself from the inner monster. Ernest, who is present, puts his hand on her shoulder and assures her that Blade's suggestion will make things much easier, describing Blade as a brave boy who loves good but has a somewhat foolish way of expressing himself. Blade gets a bit upset at Ernest's description, but after a light confrontation, Maria agrees to release her dark power. She removes the weights from her right and left arms, indicating that these are her demonic powers. Finally, she holds a powerful seal chain which will reveal her full strength once she takes it off. Sophia calculates that this power is approximately 160 times greater than her basic abilities. Then Maria released the necklace, and his power began to manifest. Storms began to sweep all over the place, and it was terrifying. Maria looked like a whole new Demon King, and his laughter became evil, and he couldn't help himself. Ernest, his fire, decided to attack him with powers, but Maria was much stronger and tried it with another friend, her piercing sword, but she easily threw that away as well. Even when Sophie tried to use artificial gravity, it didn't affect Maria, and she took control of it, hit her hard, but it had no effect on her use of her superpowers. She slammed the blade into the wall and refused to drop the blade, recovered and unsheathed her sword and launched another attack. But Maria was unaffected, and then gathered her full strength in one hand, unleashing the mighty sunray, leaving Blade unable to withstand anymore. In the end, her attack disintegrated his sword into small pieces, proving she possessed the power of a Demon King. Maria took the sword from Ernest, and the Demon King mocked Blade, claiming he thought he could defeat her with a single strike from this sword. Blade then began to transform, informing Asmodeus, the demon who originally possessed the sword, that he wasn't sure if he could handle this power. However, Ernest insisted on transforming, assuring Blade that he could handle it. He started attacking the Demon King, but she countered his assault, and the magical barrier broke, indicating there was a power surpassing hers. Blade struck her, causing a massive explosion in the city, leaving all the heroes in bad shape. He collapsed on the ground, defeated. Then the scene shifts to Blade waking up in the hospital, where a worried nurse attends to him. Blade apologizes to her and assures her that he will be more cautious from now on. He inquires about The others and the nurse tells him that Clara is treating them when he asks about the Demon King. The nurse informs him that she is alive. Next the scene transitions to Maria and Blade, where she calls him the great hero. Blade tells her to stop and not to do that. She explains that Maria is a different personality from herself, and she isn't Maria but rather Maria Mazad inhabiting her. No one has given her a name yet. Maria then leaves and the other students start calling her Mao Chan. The scene then moves to the academy's director, who reveals that he welcomed Maria to the school because he knows her identity. Her mother was human and passed away, while her father, who was the previous Demon King, has an unknown fate. Thus Maria is the daughter of the former Demon King. Back with Blade and his friends, they discuss Maria and wonder if it's wise to leave her freely roaming as she is dangerous. Ernest informs them that His Majesty the King has decided to release her and he will take full responsibility. The Demon King manifested in Maria responds that she is just an ordinary girl and only wants to wear cute clothes. However, the students advise Blade not to make her angry and mention that she prefers to be called Mao Chan. Blade is curious why they call her Mao, and Ernest tells him to consider it as her title, as everyone calls her Mao Chan. Maria permits the little girl to call her Mao, angering Ku, who claims that dragons are the strongest. She challenges Maria to another duel, but Maria appears afraid and seeks refuge behind Blade. Ernest announces that the break is over and Maria will leave. She assures them that she will welcome a rematch any time, and leaves with the girls. One of the girls questions why Maria and Mao have different personalities, wondering why Maria hasn't appeared since then, and expresses fear that they may never see Maria again. In the night, we see the little girl sleeping with Blade beside her. Suddenly they hear a voice, and Maria appears on the window welcoming the great hero Blade. Blade asks her what she wants, and Maria invites him on a date, says that the date starts at 10 o'clock, and Maria takes him by the neck and flies away, saying that 2 months are beautiful, but he is surprised that he spends most of his time looking at the earth, and asks about his age. He admitted that he had come to his senses 5 years ago and that age didn't matter to a magical monster like Maria, and he couldn't treat her like a child anymore. Become a queen now, and finds himself strangely attached to Blade, who says that the reason he stayed at the academy was because of the great hero, to kill her. Blake tells her that the next time she uses 15 of her powers, she will die. Maria replies that she doesn't deserve to be killed, and realizes that when she has a theory, she might be attracted to him, and uses the knife. Asks to be her partner but also reminds her that she can't remove the necklace of her own free will because Maria's mind resists within her. Maria is weak but resists, and the Blade, happy that the necklace brought her to this world, asks what happened to Maria Ride, and Maria explains that she's hiding deep inside her consciousness, and there are dark shadows growing inside Maria's heart. She resented and hated humans, and blamed her miserable fate in living in secrecy with her mother. When her mother died, she couldn't believe in her father, the Demon King, and started doubting everything. She thinks her father might be the cause of all her suffering. Returning to reality, Mao tells Blade that she was born to escape that unbearable pain in her mind, so maybe Maria will never return. She revealed all this to Blade because he's closer to their kind than humans. Blade says that was in the past. Meanwhile, another girl in Maria's friend can't understand how the necklace could be a sealing tool. Ernest asks if she's sure it's not a sealing tool, and she swears by her stomach that she is certain about it. Ernest asks Maria's friend not to exaggerate to that extent. We then switch to Mao, who points to her own necklace and believes it may be binding her. Maria's friend suggests that the necklace might contain a recorded message from the person who gave it to her. Mao believes that the recording might lead to Maria's return, but it could also lead to the destruction of the Demon Queen. Mao uses her magic on the necklace in an attempt to bring Maria back. As she opens the necklace, a recorded video of the Demon King appears addressing her as Amelia. Mao explains that Amelia was her mother's name. The Demon King asks Amelia to forgive him for leaving her because he has an opponent to fight and he doesn't intend to drag her into this bloody path. He tells her that she has a new life growing inside her, a magical monster child, whether it's a boy named Ortis or a girl named Maria. He wants her to tell their child about his fate after they can understand speech, and inform them about his death. The scene shifts to Maria, and Mao asks her how long she'll hide, saying it's not entertaining to defeat an useless person like her. They continue listening to the rest of the message from the Demon King. He swears to continue loving Amelia and their child Wild, even if his body perishes, and as he says that, the demon symbol appears on Mao's forehead and shoulder. She collapses in tears, revealing that she can hardly control her body now, and it seems their willpower plays a role in the battle. While they talk, they start fighting each other to see who will survive. In that moment, Maria grabs Mao's hand, and Mao tells them that she's on the brink of destruction. At Maria's hand, Blade tells her to wait a little longer before revealing that it's almost time. He invites everyone to call out her name, and they all call for Maria. Mao falls to her knees and Maria becomes their friend once again. And after that we learn that Maria can now control her powers and become the demon queen whenever she wants.